Here you go, man. Here's your $1 billion. What? You are kidding me. No, not at all. Giving away all kinds of money. You sure this is okay? Yeah, man, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. They just passed a new release bill. I'm going to be fine. There you go. Here's your $1 billion. Awesome. Oh my God, you're changing my life. No problem. Not all heroes wear capes. Hey, man, by the trash can. Here's your $1 billion. No problem. I'm a hero. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna need that back. I'm doing this for YouTube. I gotta do one more. All right, let's go look for some people with some flat tires. What's going on, everybody? Let's jump right into this one. All right, we're going to start covering this whole hot shots going to semi ordeal and see exactly what the hype is. I'm going to base this off of 2 comments that I've recently gotten on the exact same video, actually, my semi versus hot shot video. And we're going to kind of dive into this and touch base on it a little bit. So the first comment is, from what I've seen, there's way more people moving up the ladder than down the ladder, so to speak. Something to think about. So in an ideal world, not financing a truck and buying cash is the way to go. Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of people are switching over to semi too. Now, to call that moving up the ladder, ideally, or in best case scenario, yeah, that sounds really good. In theory, a lot of things sound really good. But when you actually start breaking down the numbers on this, let's get right to the nitty gritty of all this, okay? If you don't have your own freight to move, if you don't have contracts with people, if you don't have direct customers, if you don't have even, you know, brokers in your pocket, but like, you need to be way far away from that. You need more freight than you can handle currently in order to necessitate moving up. You want to call it moving up a ladder, okay? The only thing you're definitely moving up by switching to Class 8 from this is your expenses. That's the only thing that is guaranteed definitely going to change. Your revenue, if you don't have that in line, the freight to begin with, it's not guaranteed. It's still a crapshoot, because your issue wasn't capacity. Your issue was volume. Okay, so if you don't have the volume of freight to move, your answer isn't to get more capacity to move the volume you didn't have in the first place. The second thing I want to point out is this comment right here that ties directly into that. I have to say, one issue that might be a bit misleading is your failure to point out that the reason heavy equipment is more expensive is it is built to last longer. You can pay off a new truck and trailer 6 years and still be able to run that truck and trailer for another 4 years without any payment. The life expectancy of a hotshot truck and trailer is much less. Now, there's no years based in that, so even though the first one is best case scenario, good wishing, the second one doesn't even have any logic behind it. So the question I ask people, for the most part, that say things like this is, how long have you operated either one? Have you operated both? And how long did you do each one? The answer is usually never anything that has to pertain to that. A lot of people that have this one-sided kick on one or the other, especially trying to, you know, throw salt on somebody that's actually got experience in both and is trying to let people know, hey, here's the math you need to do to figure out if this works for you or not. They're usually the ones that haven't done both, and they're just super biased on the side that they are doing. And usually whenever it's pretty shaded like this, it's because they're not even making it themselves. Additionally, you have to recognize that most experienced owner ops do not pull freight for $2 a mile. It is simply not worth it. Every mile you drive, both you and your equipment are at risk. Okay, look here. I covered this section in the first 60 seconds of this video right here. I'm going to go ahead and put it up. In the first 60 seconds, I say that this does not pertain to people that have direct freight. This is for new people coming in that have to run on the load boards. That's typically where anyone that isn't grandfathered in or doesn't have, you know, an ace in the hole, this is where they start. This is where you start. This isn't for seasoned owner ops. And then even some of the seasoned owner ops that are switching over to semi, they still don't have any of their own freight to pull. It's just hopes and dreams and load boards. But to get back to the cost of all this, okay, look, you can pretty much do a 3-to-1 ratio on how much a hotshot truck costs versus how much a semi truck costs. A brand new hotshot truck gonna be about 50 grand. Okay, a brand new semi could be about 150 grand. Brand new HOTSHOT trailer, gonna be about, you know, 12 to, you know, 15,000. New semi trailer, gonna be about 36 to 45,000. Okay, the ratios on that don't change. Fuel is on the rise as of right now. It is the end of February right now, and fuel is going up. You're not going to get better fuel mileage in a semi. Flat out, not if you're loaded. If you're running that thing loaded compared to running a HOTSHOT truck loaded, you are not going to get better fuel mileage. You can argue that to death with me all you want to. Especially, oh, well, the new trucks, they can get 8, 9 tons. Okay, this isn't, people aren't buying new trucks, are they? No, they're not. People are buying like 20-year-old trucks and expecting them to work, and they don't. They're already starting to buy that truck again. Now, how much savings is that? And let's not just talk about how much it's costing to fix all these things. You are losing days of revenue. Toss that in on the expense too, because that counts. It doesn't just cost how much you're fixing, it costs how much it's costing you. And then check this out. One last point is that most good paying freight would never be put on a HOTSHOT, as most shippers and brokers would not allow it for insurance reasons. I've got no problem finding good paying freight to put on my trailer because that's what I pull. I name my price. I don't settle. I don't have to. I'm not at that point. I'm in a market now that I've put myself in to be able to say what I want for a price. That people ask me what I'm going to run it for, okay? They don't tell me what it's gonna be, and I have to take that. But when you're living on the load boards, that's the position you are in. And if you're not getting yourself out of that position, if you think that the reason that you're not making more money is because you can't haul enough of what you aren't really hauling right now anyway, your solution isn't to go into debt more. It's not a Hail Mary. Your solution is to dial back and see what's not happening. Your solution to get better loads and more of them is to buy some of these right here. It's like $50 for 500 cards, and you hand those out and see, then you start getting phone calls. You have to prove yourself. This is not instant. You've got to put the time in, but you have got to put the time in, and you have got to be serious about it. Nothing about this isn't easy. I've said this already. I've said this 1,000 times. This isn't easy, but you've got to know what you're working towards. You can't just be out here hoping that everything works out right, because it's not going to. You got to make it happen. So business cards, not a whole new truck and trailer setup, not a whole new fleet. It's just crazy. And I hope that people chasing these dollars like that without thinking about what it's going to cost to chase those dollars, I hope they make it. I really do. I don't want to see anybody go out of business, but we're on track for a year to see a lot of that happen. So think about what you're doing. We'll see you guys next time.